Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Mad Alaska podcast. As you can see today is very different. Instead of bringing you an artist, we will bring you somebody that is trying to do something great. Not even trying, it's doing it as we are speaking. We have B Nard Cutz today. How you doing, bro?
Good, man. Just chilling. Just chilling.
Just chilling. I hope you've been enjoying this weather, man.
Man, I'm loving it. Kind of see no snow no time soon.
No time soon. Okay. So what you been up to, man?
Man, I've just been working, trying to get my brand off the ground. Just been at it for a few years now. I've been at it since 2006.
2006.
Yes, sir.
You've been cutting since 2006?
Yeah.
Wow. So what inspired you? What got you into cutting?
Well, actually, I was at Bartlett. That's where I went to high school at.
Bartlett. My bad. I didn't even ask you where you were from. Are you originally from Alaska?
Pretty much. My family was in the military. I was a military brat. Moved up here in 94. I was 7. And I've been here ever since. So yeah, this is home.
So you went to high school here?
Yep, went to Bartlett.
Bartlett.
And there used to be a dude that was cutting hair in the locker rooms.
In the school?
Yeah, at the school. His name was Antoine Jordan. Shout out to Antoine. You know, I just saw him cutting hair, and I just figured it was something that I could do too. And I actually had a few family members who were actually in the hair industry as well. My sister went to hair school. My aunt went to a salon in Detroit. My dad did hair.
Yeah.
So I just figured it was going to be natural for me, and the rest was history. I enjoyed it the moment I started doing it, and I started cutting hair in the locker rooms, and I've been doing it ever since.
That's okay. So now you starting in the locker room, seeing that guy, he inspired you to kind of cut hair, right?
Yep. And it was because of Miss King, the basketball teacher at Bartlett. She's the one who let me cut hair in the locker rooms during class.
Wow,
so
she actually let you
she
do
let
it?
me. So I appreciate her for letting me do my thing and see what my potential could be. And that's what helped spark it.
Just because I would normally think, like, when I think like in schools, somebody doing that, they will be like, okay, we're gonna suspend you.
No, I mean, because the first time we did it was during lunchtime. You're allowed to do whatever during lunchtime. They let you leave school if you want to. So I would just be in the locker room just cutting heads.
What type of student would you say you was?
I was definitely a class clown. I was a talker.
Yeah,
I was.
you was disturbing the class all the time, huh?
I mean, it comes in handy now because it helps talking to people. But yeah, they couldn't keep my mouth shut in school.
What were some of the traits that you would say, other than before cutting hair? What would you see yourself being in the future?
Honestly, when I was younger, I had like aspirations, like a lot of little kids, like want to be a lawyer, a doctor. But when it came down to it, at first I thought about doing fashion design, but haircutting it drew to me. Once I just saw people doing it in the locker rooms, I was like, I want to do that.
Nice. So was you somebody that did you go to school for it?
Yeah, I did. There was a school up here I went to, Academy of Hair Design on Northern Lights and C Street. They still operational, but the people that I was taught under, they're not there anymore.
Okay.
It was Michael, Inga, Rachel, and Mono. Those were the teachers that were there. And they sold the school a long time ago, after I had already graduated. And now they got some new owners over there, but they're still there.
That's what's up. So now take us through that journey, right? You before you went to that school, you was already cutting hair in school, right?
Yeah.
So now what got you way more serious? Was it the people around you? Was it your haircuts wasn't there? What inspired you to go, okay, I'm gonna go join the school and start doing this as a career?
Well, it was how well I took to cutting hair, and how I'm not trying to toot my own horn, you know what I'm saying? But I was good straight out the gate, and I was like, I could see it. And so I was like, I think that I want to take this a little more serious.
Definitely. Now with that being said, like, what type of haircuts would you say you were specialized doing that
back
time?
then? It was the common stuff, the even all overs, maybe a little afro shape up. Because what I also used to do is when I used to go to get my haircut, I would just sit in the barbershop for hours afterwards and just sit there and watch them cut hair. I would just be watching over and over.
Just sitting there and watching them.
Yeah. And to the point that one of the barbers, he was like, "You finna be a barber, huh?" He just knew. He's like, "Man, you always looking at me cut hair." And so I would take the little tricks that I learned from them, and then I would go do that over in the school.
What's up, Izzy? You see, we changed up the thing today. Don't laugh at my hairline, okay? But here, you can ask me questions too. That's why I'm here, man. Bernard is actually somebody who, B Nard, he's actually somebody who is doing something great in the community, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. I just want us to get a little familiar with him and understand his background. And because every individual have somebody or somewhere that they come from. So that's what we are figuring out right now. Right now, he told us, we know he started cutting hair at Bartlett in the locker room. Did you play any sports?
I played baseball.
Baseball.
I played baseball in high school, yeah.
For how long?
Like 2 years. Played all the way till I was a kid, and then I think I stopped my junior year.
That's when you start playing?
Yeah.
So that's when probably the cut was where you specialized from there.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things I just kind of dropped once I started cutting hair. Like I flew into it. I was all about it.
Take me through one difficult time you had to deal with a client through school that was a bad experience, and how did you deal with it?
Well, let's see. I think one of the more bigger ones that I dealt with in school was I would probably have to say was cutting somebody. I think most clients actually, after they get their hair cut and they actually get nicked or something like that, most of them are pretty cool about it. You know, they understand it was an accident. Not to mention, I'm getting my hair cut out of school, so I know mistakes happen. But this particular client, he was pretty upset, rightfully so. But that was a big, throwing me in the water on the deep end, learning how to handle that situation for the first time, because they didn't tell me. I was just trying to keep him calm, let him know that I apologize, it was an accident. Also letting him know and reminding him that he did come to a school to get a haircut. Yeah. So you're not dealing with absolute professionals at the moment. And he didn't have to pay for the haircut or nothing like that, but he stormed out mad, but he understood and he still kept coming back.
And now going to your professional side of doing things, what is the most difficult thing you face, like that you don't like when you're in the shop?
Honestly, one of the more difficult things that I face as of right now is dealing with clients as far as booking. I have an app set up to help clients be able to book and everything like that, but I still get a lot of clients who want to call and ask questions, and even after me constantly expressing to them how easy it is on the app. And it's just hard because in the lower 48, almost all the barbers are on the booking apps and stuff like that. So it's just hard to kind of translate that here because everybody just still wants to do word of mouth. And I'm still that's dying out.
So you believe that it's been difficult for people to follow the rules of going to an app to make a schedule?
Right.
Okay, that's one of the difficult things you kind of face. What about what are other things that you face? What about competition?
I feel like there's enough clients for everybody. Like I'm not as frustrating as it is to get clients to book, I'm still not hurting for clients at all. I'm still, so that's one thing that I had to learn. Not every client for you. You have to know how to cater to the clients that you want to cut. That way, everything just runs smooth. Because there's certain clients who they don't mind paying a little bit extra. They want the time to be taken. So, I don't mind catering to them, making sure I get the haircut exactly how they want it. So, it's just a learning curve.
Take me through some relationships that happened with you and a client from cutting hair that have went further than just the shop?
Oh man. Um, for example, my man Teddy Harris. I've been cutting his hair for a long time. He actually started out with a different barber, but after he moved, it was all family, so he just started coming over to me, and I've been cutting his hair ever since. And we hang out outside the shop. I've been invited over to his house for Christmas dinners, and so actually, that story goes back a little further because my dad used to watch his kids when they were younger.
Oh,
So
wow.
our families have always been connected.
Wow, that is awesome. So give me another relationship that's
Let's see. I mean, I still have, like I said, I used to cut hair in the high school gym, and I still cut some of those clients still to this day.
wow. So that have grew not only from the school to like after the school and but
Yep.
what are some activities you are into when you are not cutting hair?
Love going to concerts, music. I love just being out and about. Um, Especially with being in the industry that I'm in, I like to network and just be out and about around people. So yeah, I love that.
Okay. I seen like the other day you was at the fashion expo that happened,
Yeah,
and you had to cut like a lot of people in a very short amount of time. How do you deal with pressure under those type of circumstances?
You just gotta. I've been cutting hair for a while, so I mean, I've experienced pressure before, but that was my first time ever doing anything like that, so that was a little different for me. As far as getting a hold of all the models and understanding how things work, I didn't realize that a lot of the models just assumed that I was going to cut their hair. I was under the impression that maybe some of them were going to get haircuts somewhere else, so I wasn't kind of sure whose hair I was going to cut when I got there. So it was put under a little bit of pressure when I realized how many heads I had to cut and the amount of time that I had left. But it was all good. It all worked out.
It ended up coming together. How do you stay updated with new trends and haircut styles?
Social media, with all the posting and stuff that I do, with the algorithms, they put that stuff in front of you so you see it all the time. So if you want to stay on top of your craft, you got to stay paying attention.
Paying attention. I see you rap the Lakers a lot. What?
Man, that's all day.
You think the Lakers gonna win the season next?
Lakers in 5.
The
Lakers in 5.
Yeah. What do you think about Luka going over there?
Oh man, Lakers are known to steal a good player from somebody and then just turn it into a great dynasty. We've been doing that since forever. Kareem. Then we got Magic. We got Pau Gasol, and that was a big steal. Like we should have never got him for the dude that we traded him for, but that's what we do, and we keep rocking, getting them championships. So I'm looking forward to seeing a couple championships coming our way soon.
Okay. I myself, I'm a LeBron fan, so I support LeBron wherever he goes.
Okay.
When he was at the Heat, I tell him, yeah, when LeBron park up, I pack up too. Move to the next thing. Now, how would you describe the community of Alaska to somebody that haven't been here?
I would say this is probably one of the most diverse places I've ever been to. And I mean, I lived in Alaska all my life, but I've definitely traveled outside of it, and it's just crazy to see how many different nationalities of people there are here. It's because I have a wide range of different clients.
So you what? Like somebody else who have never been here, they would think like we live in igloos and.
We used to hear that all the time when we first moved up here.
How did you deal with that?
I mean, it was actually kind of like it was cool, It helped us stand out. Everybody want to talk to you because they find out you're from Alaska. Those questions got irritating over time, but it put you at the center of attention when you're from Alaska.
You appreciate it more when you live out of here.
Yeah.
Would you stay here forever, or are you planning on going to other places?
I definitely would like to go other places, but I just feel like I'm not done here yet. I feel like there's still some more I need to do.
Like what are some of the things people could do here that you would suggest to people that you normally do?
Um, when it comes to the summertime, that's where it's at for me. I don't like to be inside at all. Like I hate the fact that I have a job that got all these windows because the summertime I be staring at that sun.
Yeah.
I'm like a kid in high school counting for waiting to get out from school. I'm ready. I like going out camping. I haven't gotten any hunting done. That's still on my bucket list. But it's funny because working in this barbershop, I ain't surrounded by nothing but hunters. And now after hearing all the work that goes into it, I've been kind of like,
like they kind of go through a lot.
Right.
Huh?
I'm not trying to hike 500 pounds of meat through the forest. I didn't
What?
think about that part. After you kill the animal, you got to bring it back.
You are right.
Yeah. I was like,
Because then you have went there for no reason if you
right.
Don't they like Kenai? I like how Kenai fishing is. You go to the river, the beach, you just catch the fish.
I love dip net. That's fun. We do that every year.
You go every year?
Oh yeah, dip netting out there. Yeah, that usually starts around beginning of July, like the whole month of July.
Okay, that's some. Okay, I see that. So now I seen like a while ago, right?
Yeah.
You was offering something to the community
Mm-hmm.
that are kind of less fortunate. What made you do that?
Well, I understand there's a need, and that not everybody can. Not everybody got it like that. And if I can help people out, and it's not gonna hurt me, it's to come out of my pocket, or for nobody to go into my pocket, that's all right with me. Because at the end of the day, I do enjoy that look when they grab that mirror and they get that extra confidence. Especially when you know that you're the one that gave them that.
Give me a time that you have done that for somebody and it made you feel very happy, or it did something to you
Let's see.
in a positive way.
Just a few days ago, I posted a haircut. His name was Paul Cash. He came in for his birthday. There's just certain cuts that you do, and when everything just comes together, the blend, the line, the beard, everything like that. It for me, it's just like I just can't stop looking at it. Like I'm just it puts a lot of pride in me.
Okay. So okay. So okay. So yeah, what was the thing behind that? Was you? I know it's a lot of barbers here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not many have thought of that way of route. What do community mean to you?
Man, community. That's just everybody coming together, working towards a common goal. Because I love to share the love. I mean, I'm not hating on no other barbers as far as that community is concerned. I like to see other barbers doing good, and I just like being part of that community that can make everybody look good.
Do you think the barber community here is connected or is divided?
It is divided though, for sure.
In what ways?
I feel like everybody kind of sticks to their own because there's only like a few black barbers. There's a lot of Hispanic barbers, and there's a few Asian barbers, and I just feel like everybody just kind of sticks to their own and stays that way. And that's the way that it's just always been.
Would you say it is okay? Go ahead.
I do like seeing when we do like barber battles and stuff like that, and I get to see everybody come out, and that makes me, feel like we're all connected. Because when they do that, you don't ever have to worry about. It doesn't look like nobody's hating, or like there's any kind of competition. When I see everybody come together, I just feel that outside of that realm. Like no one really talks or communicates or anything like that.
So when those meets happen, I see there's also a lot of Spanish haircutters and not a lot of black people that cut hair.
No, there isn't that many. There isn't.
Do you feel that puts you as a disadvantage?
No, because just because there's that many Hispanic barbers doesn't mean that everybody wants to go to that type of barber. So it doesn't, I don't feel like there's any kind of struggle with that.
What would you say differentiates you from other barbers?
The time that I take.
In what form?
As far as like the whole haircut, like I take my time. I want to make sure everything is done right.
Right. And if somebody that is not aware of like haircuts or barbing, what describes a good barber or a great barber? Like to say this person is legendary. How do you measure that?
It's more than just the haircut. It's your punctuality. That's one of the biggest things amongst clientele, not so much barbers. Clientele, they don't like to have to book an appointment and then have to wait for the haircut. So I tried at my best to try to make sure that I can get on time with everybody, because that's a really big part of it, along with crushing the cut, making sure they get good cut. Communication, if you're not going to be on time, whatever, let them know. And just being able to talk with your clientele.
That's what defines like a good barber. Does that also like the cuts playing part? Because many people that are not into the cut. Yeah, if you're not into the wall of barbing, you might just think, oh, I just want a good cut and going. But I kind of want the people to get the sense of what a good barber what roles and they can play in somebody's life.
You'd be surprised, like when you get a good haircut, how that makes you feel, how that changes your attitude. You know, people get jobs from good haircuts. At least it gives them the confidence to feel like they can get the job. You know.
I also wanted to ask, with barbers, right? How comes some charge this price and others charge this price?
That's a matter of what the barber himself feels like he's worth.
And what is the worth calculated in?
Longevity, how long you've been doing it, your skill set, and your consistency. You know, because some barbers, their skills drop off over time.
So is that something that people would know, or that they themselves would know individually?
Now, if you're not really somebody who's into the whole barbering world or gets your hair cut on a regular basis, that may not be something that you know. But for people who get their hair cut on a regular basis, and there's certain clients that you're used to seeing in the shop, those are the type of things that those clients are looking for.
So now, what would be a barber's dream that is working in a shop? Like for you, what would be your end goal?
My end goal, having my own little suite to myself. I've never really wanted to. Working with other barbers is cool, but I've been doing this for a long time, and the little time that I did work by myself, I really enjoyed it.
So you would rather, is it kind of a boring working in a space where it's many other people? Like, let's say if for example, have you in a shop with a whole bunch of Spanish people and you don't speak Spanish? How does that make you feel working in that environment?
I worked at Genesis for a little bit, and that's how that environment was. But they speak English. I mean, it's not like they can't speak English. So I never struggled with any of that.
Did you feel like you fit in that place?
For me, it wasn't necessarily
meaning culture-wise, not how they treat you, meaning like culture-wise and understanding language barrier.
The language barrier wasn't too bad. Like I said, pretty much everyone that I worked with spoke almost perfect English, so that wasn't really an issue. Like I said, I love to indulge into different cultures, so they started bringing all that Spanish food around. I loved it.
So you like the diversity of it?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all, because I feel like your skill set, if you're good, you don't really worry about all that other stuff that comes with it. That really never really worried about it too much.
Now I also see like when people come to shops, like let's say somebody that just didn't book an appointment and just come to the shop. How do you guys know like okay, this person gets to get the cut, this person, how does that system work?
As far as like priority?
Yes.
If they come in and there's nobody in the chair, I mean, I can still cut them. That's not an issue. It's not that I don't take walk-ins at all.
Yeah, I'm saying like let's say it's two barbers sitting down waiting for a haircut, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a client walks in. How do you determine who gets the client?
Well, if it's like on a walk-in basis,
Yeah.
the way that we do things here is just kind of like who's ever up next to cut hair.
But what if you guys get done at the same time?
It's a personal preference with the client. Who do you want to cut your hair? You know.
Okay. Does that ever
That happens all the time. Yeah.
conflict ever come out of that?
Nah.
Okay.
Especially because it's a walk-in, you know. So it's like I could see if it was one of my clients and then he just jumped into your chair, like that would be kind of like an insult. But especially if you came there for me. But no, I don't. That doesn't bother me at all.
What is a proper way of maintaining hygiene and cleanliness in your workspace?
Sanitation. You gotta stay on top of sanitizing your gear. And that comes from washing your stuff at night, spraying down your equipment, oiling your equipment, making sure everything keeps running. I mean, it even says on almost all clippers right up the top of the blade to keep it oiled.
So that is, you can say you are big on that?
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of clients that I've seen how bad they skin does after getting cut with dirty trimmers, dirty clippers, and especially now that we're in the age of social media and they'll blast you. You gotta make sure you're on point.
Would you say social media made things kind of hard for people or easier?
I'd say it made things easier for clients because now they have like when they come in, they may not know the certain words to say to describe the haircut. They can just show us a picture of everything. But as far as for us on the barber side, it's become a little difficult because I mean now everybody's doing social media.
How do you make sure your work stay out there and promote to make sure that you stay on top of other barbers?
I just do my best to try to post as much as I can. There's certain things that I've been trying to work on to make sure that I get the response and the action and traction I need from posts. So that's just stuff that I'm trying to work on now, just to make videos and more content pop and get more traction.
Okay. And how do you think? What advice would you give to somebody that want to start getting into this career?
Stay consistent. At the beginning of your career, one thing that I had to learn, there's a guy named Derek who taught me this. He was the owner at the barbershop with a guy named Shadi McCoy. They were the owners at Unique Blends. And one of the things that he taught me that really stuck is he said, hey man, sit here. I know you anxious. I know you want to get up and leave because you don't see no cuts coming through here, but just sit here and wait, and the cuts will come. A lot of young barbers, they're anxious. They don't have no discipline, and if there ain't no cuts coming in, they just want to get up and leave, and they want to go do something else. And that's not how you build your clientele up. You got to be willing to go through the hard times.
What was some of your hard times that you faced?
That when I first started over there at Unique Blends, because when I started, that was before social media and all that stuff was popping. It was word of mouth. I mean, you really had to sell yourself. And the location of our business was kind of an awkward place. It was like a business within a business, so it was kind of hard to find us. So at that first place, it was kind of hard making money there. I ain't gonna lie. Starting out.
Would you say you lose money in the beginning of this than you get?
Yeah. I know tons of people who had second jobs when they first started. But what's crazy now is, like I said, because of social media and the way that it is, you can start promoting yourself at an early age so that you can start setting yourself up so that that clientele will be there by the time you're ready to graduate from barber school and you'll already be set. Because the client, they don't really care like, oh man, is his license on the wall? All they want to see is how fresh that cut is. So when you start promoting yourself, even though you're only in barber school and you're promoting good cuts, you're letting people see you before you usually get into a shop.
Would you say it's difficult to start this career? Is it a gift kind of thing, or anybody can get into it?
I feel like that with anything, there's a lot of people like basketball. There's a lot of great basketball players, but if they don't put in the work ethic, it ain't gonna show. Yeah. Versus somebody who may not be all that great, but if they got good work ethic, it's gonna pay off in the long run.
So good ethic, is it like just practicing all the time?
Practicing all the time, showing up on time, being there ready to, get all the clients to come through the door.
Now, going to start in barber school, what were some of your challenges there?
Man, for me, I was working a job and going to barber school at the same time. And that was tiring. I was working at a post office at night. So having to move all the packages and stuff, I wouldn't get off until like 5 or 6 in the morning, and then I'd have to go to hair school at like 8 or 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's when I first got introduced to energy drinks. I'd be howling through haircuts for like the first 5, like maybe 3 hours a day, and then I'd be in the back room just crashed out, sleeping.
Sleeping. Definitely. Wow. Is there any other, like, how is it like for somebody that haven't experienced it? What are some of the fun things that you faced while you was there?
Oh, some of the fun things? Oh man, the freedom. That's the freedom that we have as barbers. Like, there's nothing like that.
What will fail an individual going through barber school?
Say that again?
What would fail an individual going through barber school?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Like, what are some things not to do as a barber, like, or even going through that?
Oh, when you're in school?
Yeah.
Oh, don't go in there, because some people go to barber school because they feel like they're good at it. Don't go in there thinking that you know it, because I tell you what, I learned. Like I said, when I first started cutting hair in the locker room, I just thought I was nice. But when I got to hair school, I learned a lot of things that made me realize that it was just the tip of the iceberg. Because honestly, I really didn't know how to cut a lot of different texture hairs when I was in high school. I went to a black barbershop, so I was cutting mostly black clientele or clientele that had hair similar to black people.
So that kind of thing. What is the most difficult texture of hair you have dealt with?
I would definitely say that super straight Asian hair. That's probably my least favorite.
I'm pretty sure that's there. I went to the Diamond Mall before. I was so late for something event. Then I seen the Asian store. right across the thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go over there. I know. She said, hey, I've never cut black nappy. She said nappy to be specific. She said, I've never cut. I'm like, okay. I don't know if I should be offended or not, but right now I need to look cleaner than I am. I'm gonna take the risk since my hairline is have already left my body a long time ago. I'm gonna take the risk and give you your first black cut. I noticed it was different.
She said she's never cut nappy hair before.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
I mean, at that moment, I didn't think of it as much. But then after I left, I'm like, hold on. He really said nappy hair? Because I was sitting down for a while. I was like, okay, I'm about to get up and say, yeah, these folks over here are very racist. But then I realized they all was running away. They all didn't want to do it for some reason. I'm like, how are you qualified barber, but you have never cut black hair before?
It's funny because even in this shop that I work in right now, there's I'm not the only black guy here. There's two others, but there's certain times in here where we'll get certain clientele, and it's like the other barbers will just look right at me like, you cutting him. Like just
would it be like kind of like a stereotype thing? Not saying it's a bad thing, but would it be like, okay, you are the best candidate to do this job?
It usually is that way. It usually is.
Wow. Okay. Because when she said that, I was like, how would you feel if that was you? Would you have took that offensive? Saying I've never cut nappy hair before.
Yeah, I think I would have. I would have took the time to correct her. Cause you can't go around saying that.
I felt like that, but I even felt the energy in there, like saying like, we kind of like, we can't tell you to leave, but you are kind of, I'm like, yo, I just need some clippers on my head right now, like just clip it and I'm getting ready to go. But then she finally is like, we made eye contact and she's like, I'm like, you cut? You say, I can, but I've never cut nappy hair before. I'm like, I don't know how to take that. but it's like, okay, but after I thought about that, do you think that is like a problem in other states or that is just here?
No, that's everywhere, man. Yeah, there's people who struggle cutting black hair everywhere.
Definitely. Like you say, it's okay. I only said that because when you said the Asian part, that's what I thought about that.
Well, because like I said, it's so diverse up here. I cut all kind of hair.
Yeah, like Mountain View is the most diverse neighborhood in America. A lot of people do not know that.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely. So what other plans do you have coming up soon? Where do you see yourself taking this, even in Alaska, or somebody that is planning on investing in something? What type of help do you think you need to take this to the next level?
Well, it's funny that you say that because I actually just started cutting a guy, and he said he had office space, and he was asking me, would I be interested in starting my own stuff there? Yeah. And I was like, that's so funny that you said that because I had been thinking about that.
So that happened from you just cutting his hair? Yeah,
because he was actually another one of the guys that was at the fashion show that was taking pictures.
Oh wow! Yeah. So that connection happened from there.
Yeah.
Would you say that was a successful move for you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like what? If you would work with anybody here or do any collaborations of any sort, who are some people that you would like to?
Let's see. I would love to do maybe some design work after females had her hair done by a hairdresser. There's a hairdresser, Ronnie Baxter. She's nice with it. If any ladies out there need to get your hair done, go check with her. She's nice, especially with the short hair and the quick weaves and stuff like that. She'd be on it. So I would love to do some collab with her and do like a little design or something on the side.
Okay. You gonna make sure she sees this video.
Yep. EC, that's another one.
EC.
Yep, he does a lot of work with people. I would love to maybe style somebody's hair and let him do some editing or something like that afterwards. His creative mind is crazy. Things that he'd be thinking of. So I would definitely like to work with him.
What do you think about him?
Man,
As a creator.
his creative mind, things that he thinks of on the spot. Sometimes, if you've ever been around him, it's pretty impressive. Like
some people say he's crazy. Like when you see him in the middle of the thing, like the fashion show, I was filming. I was like, I feel like he was gonna tell me, "Get the fuck out the way, right?
Oh man, that's
put that camera down."
That's the genius. That's the madness behind the genius. You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of it. I understand that, but there was so much more extra that caused that show to be what it was. But it's funny because, like you said, you was behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But when he got out on that stage, he made sure that it wasn't everybody seeing all that.
Yeah. And he was worried. I'm like, wow, everybody loved this movement. What do you think, like, first coming into that show? Was it everything that you thought it was gonna be, or how did you leave from there?
Like I said, making the connections, that was one of the main things, and I was like, oh man, I wasn't expecting that, so that was a good thing for me. I think, just from watching movies and TVs and stuff like that, the expectations I had for how it was going to be was a little bit different. But going in there and having the room and everything that I worked in, walking in there, seeing all the models and everybody getting dressed and just seeing the whole atmosphere and everybody in their element, that was cool. I enjoyed it.
Do you think that is something we have here very regular, or what would you like to, if there's any showcases you would like to put together, what would you like to do?
That's actually, I've thought about that.
I've been disturbing the artists lately, right? Are you familiar with any local artists?
Oh yeah, a few of them.
Give me your top 3.
Top 3?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll say Duckman, Tay, and
that's your top 3.
I actually been listening to it a little bit lately.
Who you been listening to?
Fairview-ish.
Fairview. It's the top guns.
He's nice. Yeah, I like it.
He's nice.
I like it.
Yeah, you think who you think is hotting up the scene right now, from your point of view? Because I believe that I see you at events more than other people. In your view, who do you think is like could get the city out of here, like on the map?
I think to be honest, I think that's gonna be Tay.
Tay.
Yeah.
Tay and Duck. Who you think is most likely to get there first, and why?
And
this is your opinion. It doesn't matter what anybody has to say.
I just feel like the level that he is on, it's not that he's higher. I just feel like the people that he can more bring the music to, the audience is bigger.
Do you think people relate to his music easier? It's more for the ladies, or what makes him stand out, or the connections he makes?
I just feel that Duckman's rap, I love it. I grew up with him too. I used to cut his hair.
Oh, nice.
When he lived up here. For me, it's just the I'm be 100% with you. I'm not no gangster. I don't fuck with gangster rap that tough like that. So
you with the top civilians, you with us then, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Do you think gangster rap this generation is beneficial to go that route, or is it beneficial to just do it the latest route? Which one is faster, and which one is of more quality?
I mean, anything for the ladies to me is always going to outdo it.
But when it comes to hip hop scene here, what do you think of the scene? Do you think it's ready to compete with the lower 48? Do you think the artists give you enough music that make you feel like, okay, this is hot and new?
It's not so much the artists that aren't ready. I feel like it's the city behind them. I feel like there's not enough support. Because I mean, there's artists of their caliber. If you go to a different state, man, them cats are like the mayor of their cities, like, because they have that support. I feel like a lot of people don't support up here.
Just what do you think that is due to?
A lot of it, I think, is due to the fact that that's not what Alaska is. When you think of Alaska, that's not what you think of. And I feel like that's not what it's geared towards, and they don't want to gear it towards that. So that's why it gets such a small little corner of Alaska. We just get, the hip hop scene is just a small little piece. Like even back in the day when K-Fat first came out, I remember when it first came out, actually hearing a rap, that's what it's supposed to be, rap hip hop. You listen to K-Fat now, like,
so K-Fat actually
be listening to 101.3 some of the time. Like, it's not. If there's a hip hop station, that's what I want to hear, just hip hop.
You are right about that. I remember that used to be like, go on that channel, tune it to hear all the newest hip hop songs. Why do you think they don't support local art? Or there's only been like 4 local songs ever?
I feel like for the same reason where if you rap and you be like, I'm from Alaska, they're like, you from Alaska? Like, that vibe is the reason why people from Alaska struggle, I feel.
And do you feel like there's a connection between, like, because I know when it comes to cutting entertainment and anything, do you feel like that the people of entertainment involve you in the craft as much as they should have?
What do you mean?
Like events that happen, like artists, what do it require for somebody to get you to come cut them, let's say before the shows?
Oh, I mean,
would you do that?
Absolutely.
So I'm cooking up something like that, right? Yeah. For a versus show. I have a few artists. I have like Lil Swavy versus Lil Draco. I'm gonna have LAM, the Samoans versus Ish and Bird.
Okay.
I'm gonna have Goodlow, Young Cat versus Stevie the Bless. Or
I like what she's doing too. She's pretty nice.
What do you think of her music?
I don't really too much listen to it, but when I hear her flow and when I hear her delivery, it's definitely been perfected. Like, she's been at her craft for a while.
Energy wise, who has more energy performing, Red Tex or Stevie the Blessed?
I honestly don't know who the other one is.
Oh, you don't know Red Tex? Wow, he's a very energetic artist here. But you know Stevie?
Yeah.
Who can I put with Stevie with energy? You know Goodlow? Younger Cat.
No.
She got that up energy music.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I gotta start getting out to more of these shows so I can start seeing what else is out there, because I mean, really, the people that I listed, I mean, beyond that, I ain't really been hearing none of the younger generation. So,
what about Maldon
I love to
Manny?
support my city and hear the music that's already in my own town.
Maldon Manny, was his waves? Did they meet me here?
I heard a couple of his songs. He was alright. He was alright. Yeah, I liked it.
So, but with the artist thing too, I want to let every artist that is watching right now or doing anything, any individual in Alaska that's doing anything right now, this is B Nard. He's one person that is doing great things for the community and helping the youth. If you're about uplifting the youths and helping this community go further, book your cuts with him. And for the artists that are gonna be doing the verses, all of you is a requirement. You must come spend money with Bernard and get a cut from Bernard. And Bernard is gonna be there. So just get ready, bring your dollars and be ready there. And Bernard is gonna do all the cuts. We're gonna probably have Bernard give us 5 or 10% off that day. And then we're gonna kick the things off. Is there anything you would like to tell the people before? Man,
I appreciate y'all just sitting with me, let me talk it up. Yeah, come check me out, and I will show you what I can do.
And where's the shop? Where's you located? Where can they find you?
Flat Top Barbershop, 11400 Old Seward Highway.
Old Seward Highway.
Yes, sir.
Man, you see me, man. I'm feeling myself, man. Woo! I feel like I have a hairline today. Woo, I see it, man. It's nice, man. So you can see it right here. From a guy who doesn't have a hairline to now feeling himself. When I was walking through here, I had this hat on. This is how I walked in here like this, but this is not how I'm going back. You see the hat just flying out of there. I'm walking here looking like this and left and right. But thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's B Nard. And you say the shop is located where?
11400 Old Seward Highway, Flat Top Barbershop.
Flat Top Barbershop. Definitely. And how do they get a hold of you?
You can reach me, call me 907-301-9734. You can hit me up on Instagram at B Nard Cuttin. That's BNARD BCUTTN. And you can hit me there on TikTok.
Feeling myself. Thank you very much. Thank you for having us here. We appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. All right, man.